The Best presents General and State Elections in Malaysian History. The first Malayan general election, yes, our first, occurred in 1955, 27th of July on a Wednesday. Now, this general election was unique for many reasons. First is that it was the first, obviously. Second, it was the only one that took place before the independence of Malaya in 1957. It was one of two that took place before the formation of Malaysia in, 1963. And it was one of two, the other one being 1964, elections in which not all of the representatives in the Dewan Rakyat, or in this case the Federal Legislative Council, were elected. Some here were appointed. 46 were appointed by the British High Commissioner to Malaya, and another 52 were elected. And that is what we're going to pay attention to. Also, this was the only general election, with the Federal Legislative Council. However, this was actually not the first nationwide election after World War II. The first one was actually the municipal elections, like 1952. I'm sorry, I just don't know much about those municipal elections, and I really do not care about them. But this is the first general election. But it does have very low amount of constituencies. Like, for comparison, the next election, 1959, has 104 constituencies, which is a dramatic increase, let me tell you. And actually, this one had a lot of support, a lot of, contesting. In fact, I believe only one alliance candidate won, automatically, because he was uncontested. Well, he/she, sorry. Don't want to be gender biased, I guess. But let's talk about the thumbnail, because, we need to talk about it. Why is Tunku Abdul Rahman versus On Jafar when On Jafar didn't even win a seat? Well, here's how it works. Basically, Tunku Abdul Rahman heads the Alliance Party, and UMNO, and so because that the coalition, the Alliance Party, contested in all 52 seats, that means he gets to be on the thumbnail. But On Jafar gets to be there because his party, Parti Negara, contested in 33 seats, which is a majority, and so he gets to be on the thumbnail. That's basically the system we're going to use here. If you contested in a majority, you're on the thumbnail. Congratulations! But it is sad that he didn't win a seat. But we'll get to them, now actually. So, let's talk about the Alliance Party. It was headed by Tunku Abdul Rahman, as I said before, and it's not a party, but consists of three parties. A coalition of parties. UMNO, the United Malays National Association, the national organization, headed by Tunku Abdul Rahman. The MCA, Malayan Chinese Association, known by that name at the time only, and it was headed by Tan Cheng Lock, and at the time known as MIC, Malayan Indian Congress. Whenever I say MIC, I always want to say KEY, MIC, KEY, Mickey Mouse. Sorry, that was a really cringe joke. That one was headed by, I really cannot pronounce this guy's name. Let's just use the short form. Sambatan, VT Sambatan. Yes, I'm not pronouncing his full name. I'm very sorry to you Indians. I just cannot. And those were the three parties in the Alliance Party at the time. And the reason the UMNO is the dominant party in the Alliance Party is because, it heads the dominant demographic. You can tell what kind of demographics these parties appeal to based on the names. Like, you can tell. It heads the dominant one, which is the Malays. I think right now the Malays are like 60% to 80% of the population, which is very large. And back then it was obviously larger, or around the same. Which is why UMNO leads Alliance. And even the deputy leader of UMNO also is the deputy leader of Alliance. But let's talk about Parti Negara. On Jafar was the current leader. You can't say was the leader at the time of Parti Negara. And Parti Negara was the successor of the Independence of Malaya Party, or IMP. And you can see how that aged very well. But he was also actually the former UMNO president and founder of UMNO before he had disagreements with his own party and split off to form IMP. But there is a third split-off party, PMIP, or the Pan-Malayan Islamic Party. Another split-off of UMNO that of basically more Islamist Malays. You can tell the demographics here. And it was led by Abbas alias. He's not very significant in Malayan history though. Sorry, alias. And well, that's kind of it. There were some Perak parties as well, and the Labour Party of Malaya, but they didn't really win much. And so here are the results. Just cut. Yeah, the Alliance Party won. You already knew that. They won 51 out of the 52 elected seats, already enough to guarantee a majority even after the 46 new appointments. And so, Tunku Abdul Rahman was sworn in as the first Chief Minister of Malaya, but he was also the last Chief Minister of Malaya. But then, after the 31st of August, 1957, he was the first Prime Minister of Malaya, but also the last Prime Minister of Malaya. Yeah, he's full of firsts and lasts, isn't he? But then, the first Rahman cabinet was sworn in on the 9th of August, 1955. And it was the first cabinet of Malaysia, and the only one before independence. And it was then the cabinet after independence as well. But UMNO definitely dominated the cabinet, I believe. And I believe only like 5 or 6 other parties got 5 or 6 other ministers were from different parties, you know. But if you want to know what happened to the last seat, the 52nd, it was given to Haji Ahmad Tuan Hussein from PMIP, not the leader. And he, did not want to be re-elected for 1959. That's kind of it for this election, except there are state elections. So let's go on to the first two. The Terengganu and Johor state elections took place in 1954, and it was actually the state council elections, I believe, and it was an alliance victory. The Alliance Party won literally every seat there. Just in both states, just all the seats. But the other states, yeah, it was the same thing, the exact same thing, except for Perak, where PMIP again, they won 1 seat. Yeah, the Alliance Party just got full domination. Yeah, that's kind of it.